I got 3 bets for you guys in the MLB that I absolutely love today. So let's jump right into them. Yesterday, we went 2-0 at the moment. I'm waiting to see if Fernando Tatis Jr. can get us 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. It's looking like he might not, but either way, we have been absolutely crushing it recently. So let's jump right into today's slip. The first pick I got for you guys is going to be on Edward Cabrera, lower than 4.5 hits allowed. He's in the Miami Marlins pitcher against the Twins. You guys can see he's hit this in 7 of his last 10 games. Also on 2024 in the season as a whole, he's hit it at a 63% clip for 12 out of 19. But that's not it, because when you actually look at the Twins a little bit deeper, they are bottom 5 in the MLB in batting average in their last 30 games against right-handed pitchers. So Edward Cabrera, right-handed pitcher. Twins have been struggling against righties recently. He's hit this at a 63% clip. And you guys can also see up here, Underdog is at minus 120. Meanwhile, Caesars and Draftkings, they're both favoring it up pretty heavily for him to go under this line. So we're getting a pretty good value in the markets. A lot of these picks I give you, they get bumped. That's what happens when you're a winning player. So you can expect to see some of these picks get bumped again. The next pick I got for you guys is going to be over in the Mets game on Francisco Alvarez. But before I tell you that, if you guys won up to $1,000 for free, you guys got to get on Underdog Fantasy. They're giving you better payouts than Prize Picks. They're giving you up to $1,000 for free when you download it using the code PISTONS. And you also get this free winner on Dak Prescott to throw for just 1 yard in Thursday Night Football. And that's not even it. We're also going to hook you up with a free $100 a month membership to my VIP group when you join with the code PISTONS. Just send us a screenshot right here if you're interested. And if you're already on Underdog, like most of you are, because I keep telling you, it's the best app on the market right now, you can join any of the other apps in the description, send us a screenshot, and also get a free month. So, Francisco Alvarez higher than half a total base. And why I say there's better payouts, guys, you're getting a 6x on this 3-man today if you're on Underdog, and you're only getting a 5-man, or you're only getting a 5x on Prize Picks. So you're getting absolutely robbed. Take the 6x on Underdog, scrap the 5x on Prize Picks. 3-mans are better. So, Francisco Alvarez, over half a total base. He's hit this in 13 of his last 20, 6 of his last 10. And as you guys can see, most importantly, the reason I'm taking this pick is Caesars, DraftKings, MGM. Look how much they're favoring this to go over. It's absolutely insane. They are saying this should not even be on the markets at all for Underdog right now. And it likely will get taken off eventually. Yes, he is going up against Chris Sale, who is a very, very good pitcher. But at the end of the day, him to get over half a total base, he's hitting it at a 60% clip for us. And sportsbooks agree. So we're locking that one in as the second pick on our slip. And I say this all the time, guys, but the way to win in betting, it's not using your sports opinions, using your ball knowledge. Like, yeah, that stuff's fun and all, but at the end of the day, the stuff that actually makes you money, it's math-based. So I even have a chat in our VIP group. This is just free knowledge. You guys can see we have math breakdowns on the most profitable types of slips that you can do. So if you guys don't believe me, I have an interview with an odds maker on my channel, and I recommend every single one of you, whether you like my content or not, you can go into Google and you can actually search up Prize Picks implied odds. And if you look that up and you start reading, like, you can just read this Reddit post, you can read Odds Jam's article, they all have good articles on it. Basically, you can reverse engineer the payouts and figure out what's the most optimal type of slip, meaning you can hit the less, or you can hit the least, and win the most. So, like, for example, with 3-mans on Underdog, you only have to win about 55% of your picks to be profitable in the long run. But if you put these exact same 3 picks into a 3-man slip on Prize Picks, you're going to have to win like 57 to 58% of your picks in the long run. Because remember what I said earlier, you're getting a 5x payout on Prize Picks on 3-mans instead of a 6x like on Underdog. So, sorry, hopefully I didn't confuse you guys. But Connor Norby, higher than 1.5 total hits, runs, RBIs. This one is on Underdog, as I said. You guys can see, courtesy of Daily Grind, they're telling us DraftKings at minus 130, Fliff at minus 135, another apps at minus 147. So basically, Underdog messed up. This shouldn't be there. Daily Grind's a tool that lets us research and compare sportsbooks to these apps and find the most profitable bets. I have a link to them down below if you want to check it out. But there is your 3-man slip on Underdog. These are my absolute 3 best bets for the MLB. And for those of you that are probably a little bit confused by some of my video today, I want to highly encourage you guys as well. Do your own research on everything you find online, whether it's me or anyone else. But I do recommend every single one of you also go on my channel, go back to the playlists, and go watch some of my educational content, because I have a lot of really good older videos of me being like super boring but like really educational math-based stuff. Trust me, it'll be worth your while. Or you can just join our group and we spoon feed you the slips, like literally just copy paste. But either works. As I said, jump on Underdog, take advantage of all that stuff. And then if you guys are on like Fanduel, if you're on Draftkings, go check out elitepicks.com. Like, for example, this is where my background comes from, and I've custom built a ton of really cool stuff like math-based calculators that actually can show you implied odds in betting, a lot of different weird stuff. So like, for example, let's go to the sports betting hold calculator. So a hold calculator, just off the rip, I'm not scripting or anything. A hold calculator, you guys can read the article under it. Again, this is all free online. But this tells you the casino's edge in the long run over you as a player. So for example, remember if we went back here, Underdog is giving us minus 120 odds about on the over, and they're also going to be giving us about minus 120 on the under. So we can go to the hold calculator and we can put in minus 120 on the over and minus 120 on the under. And this tells us there's an 8.3% hold. This means on average, in the long run, over thousands and thousands of picks, for every $100 we bet, we're going to lose about 8% of our money, which is pretty crazy to think about because this casino has a very big edge over us. These apps have a very big edge over us. So if you aren't understanding the actual math behind this stuff, you're never going to win. So I had a guy, no offense, I'm not calling you out. I just kind of want to drop some sauce to you guys. There's people out there that are telling you that Chalkboard and Sleeper are the best apps to play on, and they're just not. Like, if you actually understand math-based and profitable betting, yes, Chalkboard and Sleeper are probably the best apps to make two-man slips, but at the end of the day, you're still getting robbed on them unless you really know what you're doing. And what I mean by that is math-based betting. So let me just break it down for you, not just talk like everyone else does. So if we head over to my betting odds calculator, this tells us something called implied odds. So if you've ever gone onto Sleeper or Chalkboard, you've probably seen when a game is 50-50 or a player's like overs here, unders here, it'll always say 1.77x on each side. Of course, there's some that'll be like 1.6x, 1.9x, but like if it's generally very even, it'll be 1.77x, 1.77x. And we can actually see what that equates to is about minus 130 odds on each side. So for example, as I said earlier, Underdog's giving us minus 120 on each side. You guys jump over to Sleeper and Chalkboard, they're going to be giving you 1.77x on each side, or minus 130, which is awful odds. And if you remember what I did earlier, sorry if this is mind-numbing stuff, I'm just kind of a math nerd, but minus 130, minus 130. You guys can see, basically, sorry, type that in wrong, 11% hold, 11.5% hold. So Underdog and Sleeper and Chalkboard are actually taking a lot more of your money in the long run, unless you really know what you're doing. And what I mean by really know what you're doing is you can use something called implied odds and calculate it out. There's a whole big math process behind it. I actually have videos on it on my channel. You basically take it, do something called a no-vig calculation, you compare it to sharp sports books, and you determine if it's a profitable bet. So the reason you know some apps are harder to beat and some are easier to beat is based off something called a market width. So what's a market width? For example, I just showed you Underdog minus 120, minus 120. The market width between those is kind of bigger than usual. If you go to Fanduel, it'll be minus 110, minus 110, which means it's a little bit smaller because they're closer together. If you go over to Sleeper and Chalkboard, it's minus 130, minus 130, meaning bigger house edge. So the smaller the market width, the more accurate the casino is to what will actually happen, meaning the more confident the casino is to give you guys better prices because they know their odds and their team is really good. Versus Sleeper and Chalkboard, they don't have the best team, they don't have the best models, the best data in the world, so they give high juice, meaning they take a bigger house edge and their markets are a little bit less accurate, but it makes up for it, if that makes sense. So if you're an experienced plus EV player, profitable bettor, you know Sleeper and Chalkboard, you're probably just going to be taking advantage of the promotions on there mostly, and then some bets here and there. That's why we give you guys some recreational Chalkboard slips in our VIP group, in our free group actually. But yeah, I'm sorry, I've rambled way too much today, but if you guys have any questions, do let me know down below. Let's sweep.